Welcome to the Steve and Andy Show with your hosts, Steve Leibel and Andrea Lutz.
You're getting good at that.
Oh, yeah.
Good on the buttons, Steve.
Good button pusher.
We could do this all night, Darrell.
All night.
So tonight we have our buddy, Darrell Mann, back with us. It's been almost
Nice.
It's been almost a year since we had you on the show.
A year, eh? Wow,
was
crazy.
Darrell our first guest when we were doing it together?
I think it was.
I think you were.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because the very first one I did, I made Steve be my first guest.
Oh, nice.
And then after that, I was trying to convince him to be my co-host.
But I think, yeah, you were the first
You were
guest
the first
we had.
guest we had together.
Downtown.
And remember, it was a couple weeks ago when we were wanting to get Darrell because that day it came up in Facebook memories,
Yeah.
didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a year.
Sitting on the big red couch,
Yeah.
Nice, yes.
drinking Bud Lights a year ago.
I was so excited after that
We
one.
got drunk that night.
We had a good time, but also we had like so many views because you have such a big fan base.
Oh, yes. Such a
You
big
were
fan
the
base,
celebrity bringing the big
yeah.
name to the show.
We were there till about 2 a.m. Great.
That was a fun time. Yeah.
Then Jay came over, had to bring us more beer.
Had to bring us more beer.
That might happen tonight.
Well,
You never know.
we got a lot of liquor in here.
Yeah.
Kara says, I wish I was running your camera right now. I don't think I'm doing a great job.
We have a new camera girl tonight. So if you read the
I'm just joking.
if you read the name of the live, it's what is it? Janelle's first time. Oh man. Janelle's first time running our cameras. Can you turn it to yourself?
Yeah. There's a delay on here or something.
A delay? Really?
Not big time.
Oh, Janelle wrecked it. Technical difficulties. And the other part is oh man, because
man.
Darrell Mann is here. But also, I've just discovered lately that that's actually something that I say a lot, and I didn't realize I say it a
Say,
lot.
oh, man.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
That's like my reply to everything.
And that's a great reply.
I even do it in texting.
So good.
That's
So
yours.
good. Yeah, it's mine. So good.
When did you realize that was your?
Oh,
your
I've said so good for way too long. Way too long. Yes.
I was just telling Darrell that "oh man" is like my signature saying. I say it all the time, and I just realized this.
So good. That's you.
What's yours?
Oh, baby.
Oh, that's right. That's
Oh,
what it
baby.
I
is.
say oh, baby a lot.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
baby.
do.
Yeah.
Nelly, what's yours?
Fuck.
Paying attention to the camera.
So Janelle is our local Purelator driver, and she had to drive on these beautiful roads today, and she survived. Lived
Oh.
to tell the tale.
Poor lady. That was unbelievable, those roads. And have to do it twice a day. Yuck.
But the good thing about that is she's always the weather report and the highway hotline all in one because she travels it twice a day.
She is.
Saving lives.
Yeah.
And
saving
probably
lives.
every place you go deliver to, they're probably like, what were the roads like today?
Everywhere I went.
That's our in with her right off the bat. That's how you, small talk right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of small talk, what are we going to talk about
I
tonight,
don't know. What's
Darrell?
going on, you guys?
Well, actually, we haven't seen each other for quite a while.
Yeah, you've been dead
I've been dead.
on death's door.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. There you go. Ever since the whole elephant out of the closet thing came, you two haven't saw each other.
It
right?
never came out of the closet.
Well, what was that at the Tisdale that night?
Well, let's talk about the Tisdale that
Let's
night.
talk about the Tisdale that night.
Because, okay, you were one of our biggest supporters with that thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we had this comedy night at the Tisdale Hotel, and it was a great time.
Absolutely amazing.
Everybody was just glowing that night. Like, everybody was so happy to just be out and see other people and be laughing. And you were one of the happiest ones.
You guys did an amazing job pulling that off. It was great to have it and to have Kelly Taylor. It was, it couldn't have been a better night. It was so fun.
Okay. so
So
good.
Yeah, Kelly was amazing. The funniest thing about the the night, I thought, is Jay behind the bar all night and no ha-ha whatsoever on his face. He was in full, like, army mode. He's going to battle, and he was slinging drinks.
Yeah,
like,
he wasn't coming out and visiting anybody.
No.
Well, he couldn't. He's all about serving the people.
Yeah.
But I kept telling Steve, just go up and get me another drink. He's like, no, Jay won't let us just order them. We have to
get it through the girls.
And I'm like, every time I go up there, he gives me a drink.
She gets better service. What the hell, Jay?
But anyways, you're talking about the elephant in the room. Because what did you think of Steve's performance? Were you surprised?
Both of you were so good. But yeah, and have Steve starting off, I thought that was amazing. He was great, had us all laughing.
Yeah.
But like we said, the elephant in the room that we've all been talking about. So
how long has this been a hot topic?
Are you guys like for a year? since this all started, way down at the Sweet Cup. Like, come on, you two.
Well, so far, it's just a rumor.
Yeah, just a rumor.
I'm not her type.
Not her type. Steve's just a nice, quiet kind of guy.
That's not my type.
That's not your type. That's what I'm thinking. Steve's a nice guy.
Yeah. Throw him to the curb.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah. Sorry, she's not looking for a nice guy.
It's not my type, apparently.
I think Green Day wrote a song about that one time.
Steve told me once on a podcast, what did you say? If we lived in California, who would my boyfriend be? What were we talking about? You said he'd be some guy, some struggling musician that lives in a van that doesn't even really like me that much.
He knows you well.
That's before I really knew you. Nailed it.
I like to think times have changed. I think I've grown up a little bit in the last little bit. I think I've realized what my type shouldn't be. I think.
You think.
Anyways.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
Anyways, elephant in the room. Darrell thinks that when he comes over here, he's got to leave extra time.
Well, I did. I was supposed to be over here at 7:30. Drove around the block a couple times. Honked, made a bunch of noise when I walked in, and there they are coming out of the bedroom.
Yeah, we had to move the cameras from the bedroom to the podcast studio.
That's what you two say.
That's our other income stream.
Everybody's Googling it now. Yeah. Steve and Andy XXX. Yeah.
Oh God.
Anyway, enough about that.
Yeah.
What else is new? I had COVID.
How was that?
It was rough. At first it felt like just a cold, but then it was like the biggest snot tsunami you could ever imagine. And just when I thought I was feeling better, I started feeling worse again.
No. And like you get the dried up snot up in your, it's terrible.
Just snot for days.
Yeah.
And you got like so you went to the hospital and you got like the legit test, eh? Like where they shove it right back into your brain.
Oh my God. I was like, leave my frontal lobe intact a little bit.
It's like you're getting a lobotomy.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't have gone to the hospital for one, probably, but I went there because it was screwing with my heart. So I ended up getting one, and then I also had some respiratory virus, and so, yeah. But it was just ripping through the school. Like everybody everywhere is getting it.
Yeah. When we were in Mexico and we had to come back, they did the old test there too. And I was like, yeah, I'll never get that done again. So then we're back home, and of course Kim gets COVID. So then she wants me to test, and like I put it up my nose like about that far. I'm not.
Yeah.
Doing that again.
Negative.
Yeah, negative. I'm good. Like I was like, I'm never doing that again. Yeah. Never again.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to give yourself a negative test. It's not like you can cheat, not like on a pregnancy test. Yeah. But 2 lines, not so bad.
Yeah. Week at home, hanging out.
Well, it drove me nuts.
Yeah, you were struggling with that.
Every day I'm texting Steve. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my marbles. I don't know. Like, I did a lot of things that I wouldn't normally get around to doing.
Well, that's good though. You're home. You get to do some extra stuff.
I didn't fold my laundry still. I still have 4 piles of laundry there, but I repotted my plants and I tried on my summer clothes to see if they still fit. Organized my shoe collection. What did you do when you were bored?
The important things.
Yeah.
I worked hard.
From home.
Yeah. No.
No, you probably watched TV the whole time.
I didn't have TV then. I just got
What?
TV.
What do you mean?
I got TV again last week.
Back when
What
you
do you mean
were
you didn't have
Mennonite?
Yeah. I was no TV guy for the last couple of years. Just rocking the sports apps.
And what did you do?
I watched the Sportsnet and
Okay,
the
yeah,
TSN.
yeah,
I had the
okay.
apps. I paid $15 a month. But then when they made us switch over to the new internet, which I didn't do, so all of a sudden one day they cut my internet off. So I phoned them like, hey, did I not pay my bill? So they look and they're like, yeah, you paid your bill. Why? What's up? I'm like, well, you shut my internet off. They're like, oh, well, you had till the 7th of March to make an appointment to get it switched over to fiber optic, or they shut your internet off. I'm like, well, they did that. They're like, okay, well, when's the next appointment? They said 10 days from now. So I went 10 days with no internet, no TV, no nothing. I felt like I was Amish.
Wow, like that. That's impressive, though.
What did you do?
I downloaded Netflix shows at work on Wi-Fi and came home and laid in the dark and just watched it on my phone.
That sounds pretty Amish, Steve. Like, it's not like you were washing your clothes on the washboard.
Hung out at the rink a little more than I should have, maybe.
A little more than you should have?
Or than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curling?
Curling.
Curling.
Yeah, curled
Is
after
curling
Christmas.
almost over?
Yeah, they're having the wind up tonight. I'm missing it.
What?
Ooh, for this.
You two are more important to me.
Well, I bet you it's still going to be going. Is that why you wanted to do it so early?
No.
Are you trying to double dip?
No,
on
they'll all be gone by like 8:30. The average age of that wind up party is probably
Careful. The
probably
average age
58.
Thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very old, 58.
How old are you, Darrell?
Not 58.
57.
Are you one of those?
Are you?
Are you one of those guys who's sensitive about
No.
your
not-
age?
No.
Were
Age-
you ever?
Never,
Was there a
never.
point where you're like, okay,
No, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm 57, turned 58 in April, so yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah,
because you're
whatever.
still like a young
Yeah,
type of dude.
Yeah, no, I act young, so that's good. So
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, doesn't age doesn't mean anything.
And your wife looks like she's 23.
Exactly.
That
No,
doesn't
it's
hurt.
Good. Exactly. It makes me look even young. So 58, 23, perfect. Yeah.
So I've noticed this with kind of 55-year-olds and older. Once you hit that age where your kids are gone and they're doing their own thing, they kind of turn back into like young kids again.
Like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
well,
yeah.
because I'm a single guy.
Yeah,
I'm 36.
yeah.
All my friends are having families. They're too busy to come
Right.
out and have fun. So I party with 25-year-olds and 58-year-olds.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause
Well,
you, right?
that's
Go
what we do. We like you say, men's night at the golf course. We all
We're the
want
last ones
We're
there.
the last ones there. We want to have fun. We want to go do some things.
Happy hour at the bar.
Happy
First
hour at the
one's
bar,
there.
First one's there. Tonight after we're done here, I like, where are we going after that?
Oh,
Like,
we go
that's-
party.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
So that's why I like hanging out with the old people.
Yeah.
I know Steve has a lot of like advanced age friend group.
Advanced age, eh? That's
Yeah.
I like that word.
Like
Advanced
graduated.
age. Graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But
fun.
I'm starting to understand why.
Yeah, they're way more fun.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, your age, it's like your age group of people, like you said, has a lot of young kids at home.
They got other humans to worry
I'm like
about.
in between you two.
Yeah.
I feel like right now. I still got kids at home, but they're older.
They could take care of themselves.
They can take care of themselves. I still have that responsibility.
Yeah.
But I also have a sober driver at home that can come pick me up at any time.
Yeah, because I guess when you were
But it's so different. Like when I was 25 to 35 and we were having kids, we were still out playing hockey, playing ball and doing things. And unfortunately our wives were at home with our kids, or they brought them to the rink and then they went home and we went to the bar. And now I like with how the guys are. The guys are way more involved with their kids, and
That is true.
they're home and their wives are going out and stuff. Like our daughter has a 2-year-old and she's out lots. And I think what they're doing is good. It's different than what we did.
I like how there's like a girls' night to go out, and then there's something like a guys' night to go out. Like Wednesdays is guys' night,
Right.
men's
Yeah.
night in the summer, so the guys can do that, and then the girls usually have like a Saturday splurge night or something like that. So there's a lot more compromise and give and take, and okay, you can do you and I'm doing me, but they have a plan, obviously.
Right.
It's-
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
I don't fault it. I just
No, it's
wish the guys could go out like 5 nights a week.
and now that we're 57, 58,
You can.
we can go
Yeah.
out. Our wives are actually happy when we leave. Like they're like, okay, he's gone. Thank goodness. I don't have to make supper tonight. I don't have to do this. They like
That's
that.
the difference, right?
It is.
The young wives are like texting, like, when are you coming home?
Yeah.
and I'm not saying this to be a bitch. I was one of those people. Like, when are you coming home?
Yeah.
But the older wives are like, please don't rush home. Have a good time. I'm good. Sleep on the couch.
Yeah. Or like Kim likes, so you're not going to be home for supper? Perfect. Then she doesn't have to make supper. She can do whatever she wants, and it's good. No, I agree.
But by that time, you've had enough of each other.
Yeah, I can see she probably has had enough of me.
But the nice thing about being 58, which you
57,
I'm calling you
careful.
58.
Okay,
you're probably rounding up.
Yeah, rounding.
You guys can hang out and go out and have fun together now.
Yes,
you don't have to worry about kids at home.
Yeah, no, exactly. Friday you go to the bar, you got Bart, you have a couple drinks, happy hour after work.
So you guys enjoy yourselves together, hanging out even more.
Yeah.
Because I always see you and Kim out.
Yeah. We got to worry about our little dog. So we got a Cooper, we got him at home, so we got to make sure we let him out.
We're not booze cruising to Saskatoon or anything like that.
But no, we can go out and do whatever. Yeah, it's fun because we do.
What's your favorite thing that you and Kim do together?
Favorite thing that we do together? Ooh, man. You know, for me, what she does, how she supports when I'm coaching hockey is amazing because she comes to the rink and watches the games and has an opinion of the hockey, and she's done that for 30 years, and to me, that's the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
That is, yeah. She enjoys that too.
She does, or I don't know,
I think she does.
She acts like she does, which is good. She'll come wherever I am and watch, and she won't know anybody, but she watches the game, and I guess because I'm just standing on the bench, not really.
But to be a coach's wife, that's kind of like a prerequisite. Like, you sort of need to be that supportive. Because it takes a lot, right?
It does.
I'm not saying everybody is like that, but to be as successfully happy and married as you guys are, wouldn't you say that that's a big part of it, is being such a supportive?
Without a doubt. Like she's an absolute gem to be able to, like I said,
it's a demanding lifestyle.
It is. Like for instance, in Carrot River this year, she would come to the game. She'd come to the rink at like 5:00. And sit in the bleachers and have supper and wait for the game at 7:30 because I had to be there at that time. And she didn't, let's not drive 2 vehicles. Let's just take 1 vehicle over there. And it is. And I love how she has an opinion of the game all the time too, because she always does, and which is great.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, that's
a good segue into some. So you got back into coaching this winter.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. What happened there? You went up to Carrot River. You coached the Thunder. So how did that all come together?
I had zero real interest in coaching again, and
zero.
Well, okay, let's not say zero.
You've taken a couple years off now.
A couple years of not doing anything, and their coach had some issues where he wasn't going to be able to coach, and they phoned me like 2 days before the season started and said, we need a coach. So I kind of said no, and I waited a little bit more, and they kept phoning. So I went down for a practice, and I came home and I told Kim that was as fun as I've ever had. Their practice was great. David Weens was there. I ended up bringing in Skylar Olson, Mackenzie Carson, Drayton Avitson, so guys
get the old band back together.
The old band back together. Actually, Tanner Martin, Kalen Ukrainitz, and Zach Robbins all were part of it too for a game or two. So awesome. You get those guys back together, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, this is fun. I miss this. And so that kind of, it was an amazing year. I had so much fun coaching those guys. It was one of my best years coaching.
Well, when you started, it was like a couple games into it, and you guys went on a little bit of a heater. How many games in a row did you win?
We won 10 in a row there, and it was, we were kind of a team that the last few years they'd only won 3 or 4 games all season.
Kind of bottom of the league.
Yeah, but our GM, young GM and young assistant coach, Brendan Hall and Colton Holman were amazing. They had recruited some good guys, so it was kind of easy for me to step in and kind of do what I do.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, he did what he did.
That you do?
He's not going to say this, but he did what he did, and because he did that, he won Coach of the Year for the league. So, good job. Good job. Coach of the Year. Stepped in partway through the season. So congratulations on that.
So what
Thank
is
you.
your strategy going into something like that when you say he did what he did? You do what you do. When you're going in and you're accepting that type of challenge, what was your strategy going into that season?
So the first thing I did when I got to the very first practice is we get on the ice and we do our little warm up, and then I call everybody over to the boards and I do my little pregame or pre-season speech. And of course it's, you know, I always give the old, I'm all about positive thinking, the old Oprah scenario there where what you think will happen. And I tell our guys that we're not sitting here. Our plan isn't to make the playoffs. Our plan is to win the league. I said, and that's all we're going to talk about is winning the league. We're not going to talk about just sneaking in and making playoffs because anybody can make playoffs. I said, the ultimate goal is winning the league. So, you know, we started talking about that from day one, and we talked about it right till we lost in Game 7. And I don't know. I just that's something I believe in. If you talk positive things will happen.
How have you seen that unfold in your own life? Because I know like sports is a metaphor for life, right? And anything you take from sports, you can apply to life and vice versa. And I believe that as well. I believe that your thoughts create your reality, and what you think, if you think, put enough energy and vibration towards it, it can only not help but be attracted to you. So how do you see that play? How has that played out in your life?
I think I'm a pretty positive guy. I like every day I wake up. I love going to work. I love seeing people. I love being. Yeah. I don't know. That's that's a tough question. But like you said, I like being positive. I like going to work. I think we're going to have a good day at work. You know, have some coffee with some people, have some customers come into the store, and you're thinking everything's positive. But
isn't that just it? If you wake up and think to yourself, this is going to be a good day, it will be. It's going to be. I've never woke up and thought this is going to be a good day and then had a bad day.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, if you barely want to get out of bed and you're like, fuck,
yeah,
oh, God.
Then even a good day can seem like shit.
Well, then you let all those things, the little things bug you.
Yeah.
And it just festers. But yeah, if you have a positive mindset right when you walk out the door, and you do, Darrell, that's one thing about you when, you know, I've hung around with you long enough over the last few years where you're probably, you know, even if things are bugging you, you don't show it. You don't get... You know, you don't get angry with your friends or your buddies. You're a very positive dude, and because of that, a lot of people like hanging out with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people like hanging out with me, but no, I do, and it goes back a long ways. I've always, you know, I was brought up the right way, and I think if you have a positive attitude and you like going to work, and that I always talk about hard work and stuff too, and I think those are things in life and in sports and whenever. If you work hard, you're going to be successful.
That's true, right? And especially when it comes to coaching. If there's a kid out there busting his ass and working hard and skating hard and listening to what you have to say, you're probably going to be more favorable to that than not happening, right?
You know, and that's what sucks in sports so much is the kid that works so hard and plays so hard and does everything right sometimes aren't the most talented ones.
Okay, actually, it's funny you're bringing this up because this is the one question I had in my mind that I wanted to talk to you about. Because I have a kid that's like that, loves hockey, but isn't one of those kids that will go practice all hours of the day. He goes to hockey practice. He loves it. He's on house league team. He loves going to play. Just wants to show up and play, works hard, skates hard, but is not even near one of the most talented kids on the team, like probably on the bottom end.
Right.
And we're talking house league, like 14-year-olds hockey, and still this is happening where this type of kid is sitting a lot and not playing a lot. And I just don't understand the mentality of that. And I wanted to get a coach's perspective.
It as a coach, it drives me crazy going to the rink and watching. I don't care if it's AAA, AA, or A hockey, and seeing kids sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Because if you're any kind of a coach, you can fit players into different situations.
Yeah.
That's what a coach is all about. You have to get the best out of your players, and you have to put them into situations where they're going to succeed.
Yeah.
So if you're watching a game and you're seeing that a team's playing like 6 or 7 guys,
The same lines.
yeah, that makes zero sense, because to me that's on the coach. And you can say whatever, oh, you know, the parents are bitching because Billy isn't playing. Well, No,
well,
put Billy on the ice.
Yeah.
They're paying their $500 or whatever else they're paying.
Yeah.
And as a coach, if you're any kind of a coach, you'll see that, the other team has out their bottom maybe guys or whatever too. So I can slide my guy. Like it makes no sense. And it's so frustrating because to me, everybody needs to play. And I think that's probably my biggest fault as a coach is I love playing 4 lines. I love everybody being able to play because I think they deserve it. Like,
well, and the premise of the game is to be a team.
Without a doubt.
Like not one kid can't go out there and win a game and one kid can't go out there and lose a game.
No.
It's you're a team. And to me, that's what you're supposed to be teaching as a coach. You're supposed to be teaching them skills to improve, not sitting them on the bench and saying, well, when you get better, come back, maybe we'll put you on.
Yeah, because it's your job in practice to make them better so that they can play. So spend a little more time with that kid. Tell them what you want from them. Tell them what your expectations are and stuff. And you talk about a team. I'll even go a little bit further. I think it's a family.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And that's what I preach to our guys and stuff is, okay, we're a family here for the next 8 months, and we got to be with each other every day, and we got to battle for each other. We have to, you have to be a family and come together. So when you're playing 6 or 7 guys and guys aren't playing and stuff, I totally disagree with that. And I don't care what level you're coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I'd even go one step further and say, no, that kid out there that maybe isn't as talented as the talented kids, put them with a talented kid.
Yep.
Right? For, maybe not every on the same line the whole game, but, a couple shifts. Okay, Jim, you're going out with TJ, who's the star, and that, he's like, oh, wow, look at him go. So then he kind of maybe elevates his game a little bit. Yeah. And like Jet, I've seen Jet play one game, and that little guy goes 150%, not 110, 150. And when he was out there, the whole crowd kind of was like, "Whoa!" Because he just brings the energy of the whole game up. Yeah,
gets maybe knocked down and he's up before you even realize he's. It
was exciting.
Down. Yeah,
and I remember a guy maybe a little bit more talented, but Ryan Keenis. Right when he was on the ice, the whole crowd, like the energy level of the game just went up a notch.
Yeah.
Ryan Keenis and Michael Dust. They were 2 guys.
And Duster, yeah.
They weren't the most skilled, but they worked so, and like you said, they brought the energy up. They brought the bench up.
Yes.
And guys, like you can say that about Jet too. Like, so the other players want to see him succeed too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when they see him sitting on the bench, that's not good for their morale either because they want everybody to be playing. They want them to be part of the team and be part of the family. And that's what, and I know it's at the A level. And I always think at the AA and the AAA and the junior A, so as a coach, you picked those guys to be your 20 players. Mm-hmm. So if you can't play them, that's your fault because you picked them.
Well, that's what I was going to ask too, the difference between, and that's what I think too. Like I find it understandable at a higher level of hockey where, it is your goal is to win those games and to win that championship and whatever. It's different, I feel like, in house league. Like the goal is to get kids playing.
Exactly. Keep them playing. You don't want them to quit hockey.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing. I totally agree. 100%. 100%.
So how does it, do you find it, you have to favor it a little bit? Have you ever had parents upset with you at higher levels of hockey if their kid's not playing?
I don't know if, a little bit for not playing and stuff too, but most of the time at higher levels when guys aren't playing, there's a reason. They've maybe done something outside of hockey or something at practice that people haven't saw and stuff. And as a coach, you don't want to throw them under the bus and tell their parents, little Billy, he missed curfew last night and he, his classes, he's been late for classes every day. So there are different circumstances in the elite levels, but I don't know. To me, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing is, like, I can see the flip side of the coin for the kids who are better, right? And they're the ones putting the hours in, and they're the ones playing all kinds of hockey. They're doing the 3-on-3s, they're doing the camps, they're putting the effort in, they're putting the time in. So, do you think that makes them more deserving then of playing more?
No, and unfortunately, I haven't saw Jet play, but if you're working hard as a coach, that's all you can ask. That's what you want. Like I would rather have a guy that works hard every time he's on the ice than the skilled guy that floats around and scores 3 goals but didn't really do anything all game. And the guys that are working hard, those are the ones you want to have on. Like you'd said, the Ryan Keenes's, the Michael Duss, they bring the energy up in a hockey game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually like there are those people on every type of team that are the more contribute to the bench, the locker room, more like the social part of the game,
right?
Don't you think?
Yeah, no question. You can't have 20 guys that are going to score goals. You know, you have your top 6 forwards, your bottom 6 forwards, your top 3D, your bottom 3D, and everybody has are valuable to the hockey team. And whether he's an energy guy or a guy that's working hard or like you said, a guy that's good in the dressing room, those are important too. Very important.
Well, and that's a lot different than somebody that isn't good and doesn't want to be there. Right. And doesn't.
Well, if you aren't good and you don't want to be there,
and
chances are you're not going to be there very long.
Right.
It's when you're good and you don't want to be there.
Your mom might want you to be there. Or mom and dad might want you to be there. And then, the kid doesn't want to go out because he thinks he sucks and he doesn't want to be there. So do I put him out and embarrass the kid? Right? Because there's probably some of them type too, right?
Well, like you said, there's lots of parents that want it more than the kids. You'll find that especially at the higher levels. And then again, about getting embarrassed. There's lots of parents that complain that, Billy isn't playing enough and he needs to play more. And I remember playing Moose Jaw one night when I was coaching the Trojans, and Ray Wareham we're playing Moose Jaw and they're in town, and we're beating Moose Jaw like 11-1. And I'm like, okay, Ray, like, are you going to pull your goalie? Like, why do you got this guy in? It's 11-1 and we're just hammering on you guys. And he leaves him in. It's 12-1. It's 13-1, 13-2. I think the score ended up. And we go out to shake hands. I go to Ray. I said, your other guy hurt or what? Like, because this wasn't your number one goalie. And he goes, no, his dad's been bitching about him not playing enough. So I said, I'll leave him in tonight. And I thought, oh, wow. And there it was, like at an elite level. And, this dad had been complaining because his son didn't get to play all the time. Well, he let him play that night and he wasn't very happy. So careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
So you're now moving on to another coaching job. You want to talk about that?
Sure.
Yeah. It's exciting.
It is exciting.
It's really exciting. I guess in anything, it's exciting being wanted. And basically that's what it came down to. The guys in Yorkton had been contacting me since early January, and they wanted me to go there and coach, and definitely something that I'm very excited about.
So who are you going to be coaching?
The AAA Yorkton Seacon Maulers, really good organization. They got a young new GM that's really excited. Great board that wants to change the way their team has been over the last probably 10 years. And I'm honored that they think that I'm a person that maybe can help them.
Well, that's usually what happens when an organization changes coaches. They're looking for change.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You're looking for a drastic change usually.
Right. They're
usually of the culture.
Yes, I was just going to say. They're looking for a culture change because the culture there hasn't been very good. It's been a losing culture, and I think, what did they say? They've only made the playoffs 3 times in the last 16 years.
So what does losing culture mean?
Losing culture is this: you accept it, and you accept coming to the rink and losing. I always say winners are winners and losers are losers, and you can tell that in people in life, and the winners, like we were talking about, are the positive people. And I think if you're positive and you want to put the work in and you want to do things right, you're going to become a winner. But if you want to take shortcuts and you want to do things half-assed, you're going to be a loser. And anybody can lose. It's the people that want to win. It's hard to win, but that's what's so fun, is winning.
So how do you make that switch when you come into an organization with a losing culture and you want to make it a winning team? What are the first things that you focus on or you go for every time? Because you've done this over and over again.
Yeah, Kim always says, she says, why don't you take over a team that's actually winning, and then you can take over and you don't have to go through all the... But
that's why people want you, because you have the ability to do this.
I like the challenge of doing it and stuff. And again, it goes back to what I said in Carey River. Like I told our guys when I met them for the first time in Yorkton that I wasn't coming here just to make the playoffs. I was coming here to win a championship, and I thoroughly believe that, whether it'll be in year 1 or year 2 or whatever. But that's my plan. I'm not going there just go through the motions and make playoffs. I want to go there and win.
Well, and that's the thing about junior or midget hockey is you only have a short window with that group of guys. So to create that culture of winning and of people wanting to come there, you got to do it with a different set of players every year or two.
Yeah, you do.
So it ultimately does come down to the coach and the GM and his philosophy on that team, either being a winner or at the bottom, is because you got new players all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And so we had the opportunity to have 12 vets back in Yorkton, and we've let 4 of them go already, and we may have more. Well, we probably will have more that we'll let go, just because, like you said, the culture, and you want to get the right people in there that you think can do what you want to be teaching them, and so you recruit hard. And to me, recruiting is the hardest, is the thing you have to do. If you can recruit good players, you're going to have good hockey teams.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you about recruiting, because when you're looking to change the culture and you're letting guys go that weren't a fit, like what makes a new recruit a good fit when you're looking to have a winning culture? What do you look for? Is it skill? Is it personality? What are the qualities?
And it's not something where you just go to the rink. Like I've been now the last probably 4 weeks out recruiting. And first off, I want to meet the parents. I want to talk to them, and then you talk to them, you get a kind of a feel. And now, okay, I like your son, and you watch him play, and you think, okay, what kind of player is he? Is he a leader? And you talk to his coach, and he tells you a few things more about him, and then you kind of decide where that fits into your program. And for me, Yorkton hasn't been the ultimate place for kids to go over the last 16 years, obviously, but I've been really excited with how many kids have wanted to come because I've gone there. And that's exciting for me, that there's kids from, whether they're from Kindersley, Meadow Lake, Regina, Tisdale, or Yorkton. They want to come play in Yorkton, and that excites me.
So obviously the leader of the team as a coach has a lot to do with the success, don't you think?
Yeah, I do. You obviously have to surround yourself with good people, like starting with your support staff, with your coaches and everything else, and then your players. I always say if you surround yourself with good people, you're going to be successful. So those are things that I really want to do, and that goes with good parents and stuff too. So if you can surround yourself with good people, I think you're going to be successful.
Well, that's what it sounded like, that the parents were part of the process. Like, have you ever rejected a player because of the parents?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah, no question.
Do you think parents realize that?
I don't think they do. I don't think they get how, parents and the body language of a parent and how a parent acts. So you'll go to the hockey game and you'll be watching number 4 in Martinsville play, and you've talked to the mom and dad the week before, and all of a sudden the game's going on and you're watching the dad and he's yelling at the ref and he's yelling at the coach, and you're like, yeah that's not what I'm looking for.
Don't need that in my rink.
No, so you kind of, and you're right. I don't think parents understand that. And I don't think anybody understands body language. To me, body language is absolutely everything.
Isn't it fascinating?
It's amazing.
Visual cues, visual communication.
And people just don't get it. And just like you say, in everyday life.
Yeah.
Like somebody walks down the street and their shoulders are down and their pants are down. And
you want to avoid them.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. And somebody else comes strutting down the street like this. You're like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Like you want to talk to them.
Yeah.
It's so huge.
I think that's what we're losing so much in the online world too.
Yeah, totally we are.
Like, we're losing the nuance and the magic of physical energy and body language.
Well, even in dating, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like you're communicating with somebody via text.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Right?
And this is the problem with, don't even get me started on online dating. Talk about a failing musician in his van.
Back to Yorkton. Craig Turner says that you will be the big pierogi of Yorkton.
The big pierogi of Yorkton.
Thanks, Craig. Yeah.
Sadie looks like a pierogi.
He's a big pierogi.
That's an honor coming from Yorkton.
Yeah, coming from Yorkton to be a pierogi.
The big pierogi.
Captain Pierogi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So speaking of captains, we're going to roll back. Sorry, we're kind of jumping all over the place, but I wanted to ask you this earlier when you two were talking. When it comes to picking a captain,
Mm-hmm.
what is the most important thing?
Yeah, how do you choose a captain, or do the players help choose?
Well, you don't always, but I always let the players vote. But then, I don't really care.
You have the final say?
I don't really care what it has to be like.
Is it usually the same?
Yeah. And
because you probably have some kind of criteria.
Yes,
a
you
checklist.
do. You do. And like, I just think back to like Michael Olsen when we won the Air Canada Cup. He was just in town here a week ago and had a great visit with him. But I remember him and I going out golfing in that summer, and you're kind of talking to him, and his values were the same as mine. He had the same things, and he knew what I was about, and that he was going to have to, he's a guy that is kind of the between you and the team. Like, so if I got problems, he's going to take them to the team. If the team has problems, he's going to be able to come to me and say, "Man, or you know what, fuck the guy." Sorry about that. I shouldn't maybe say
No, you
that.
can say that.
But okay, he's going to come to me and say, "You know what, maybe we got to lay off a little bit. You got to do this. You got to do that." So I've been so lucky in my coaching career of having amazing captains. Like I just look, from Luke Arndt, who was absolutely amazing, to Tanner Nagel, to Ryan Patterson, Michael Olsen, Craig Godet. There's so many. I'm Rhett Fry. I'm missing guys. Just amazing captains.
So one or two qualities that every one of those people had that you looked for in a captain, what were they?
Common denominator.
Yeah.
Worked hard. They were going to be, not only were they skilled, but they were the hardest workers on your team, and they got what I was about. They knew how bad I wanted to win and how bad I wanted them to be able to want that too. Like in hockey today, that's one of the things that drives the coach the most. Is it sucks some nights when you go to the rink and you want to win more than the players do. Mm. And there's kids some nights, it'll be a January 30th game and it's -40 and you're playing wherever and they're like, ho hum. And you're like, no, we got to win this game if we want to move up in the standings or do whatever. So those are things that are tough. And when you get a good captain that can kind of relay all that stuff to your team, that's so important. Like some of those captains, you never even had to look after the dressing room. You gave them the game plan before the game. In between periods, you would come in and talk a little bit, but they looked after everything.
Yeah. So they're kind of like coaches themselves,
exactly.
Right? Assistant coaches.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, that's right, because you can't give instruction to every single person, and then probably a lot of them have been D-men over the years, or maybe are D-men, and talking to their 4 or 6 guys, and hey, this.
Yep, no question.
We're gonna do this.
Yeah, it's.
So what's the process from now until next hockey season starts?
It's been crazy, like with Carrot River and Yorkton going on here for about a month. I was busy coaching and practicing in Yorkton and then recruiting, or in Carrot River and then recruiting in Yorkton. But now we're I've been going probably 3 or 4 nights a week. I go and watch a hockey game, whether it's in Regina or Saskatoon or wherever, and recruit some players. We have camp coming up April 19th, 20th, 21st. That's my birthday week. April 18th is my birthday, Steve. So that's when I will be.
April 18th.
Yeah, that's when I will be 58. So
Easter weekend?
Yeah. Easter week, like our camp's during the week, I guess, because there's no school. So we have that and kind of try to figure out what I'm going to do with this hockey team. If I'm going to be rebuilding or reloading. I always like the word reload because in AAA midget you only have 2 years with kids anyways, so you reload and you go for it. So that's hopefully what we're going to be able to do.
Is the schedule out yet?
No, I think scheduling's in June and stuff. So I like that because with these guys, I'm just the coach.
Yeah,
I'm not the manager. I'm not any of that other stuff. So I don't have to worry about any of that other shit. Just kind of go in and coach, and I really like that.
How does it feel going into a community that you don't live in to coach? What's the difference there?
I guess I'm kind of lucky because I did that in Melfort too. Like when I was coaching the Trojans and we were living on the farm out by Sylvania, and I drove into Melfort and coached, and we didn't really know the community there either. So we moved there after 4 years of driving back and forth. So that was good. And so it kind of got me to with this too, knowing that, I don't really know a lot of people there, but in saying that, I do, we had Colby Varani that played for us in Tisdale, Carter Lake. So those are both Yorkton families that I know. And it's surprising how small the hockey world is and stuff. And I think probably the thing that I'm probably the most proud of is how many of my ex-players are now Yorkton Mauler fans and and are helping me.
That's awesome.
I get phone calls and texts 10 times a day from ex-players that, hey, I got a buddy whose kids, wants to come play for you. I told him, something. So that's, the first kid that I signed in Yorkton, it's a really good story. So Troy Morrison played for us in Tisdale. It would have been our third year that I was Carl Van Kamp's assistant coach, and Troy was a great player. He was from Saltcoats, and unfortunately he passed away with cancer when he was like 21, 22. And so his little brother's son was the first player that I signed in Yorkton. And I just think that's such a cool story.
Yeah.
And the dad, Chris Morrison, who's the dad of the young Morrison that's going to play for us, was so excited that I was coming to coach, because he knew he used to come to the games in Tisdale, and to be able to have his son as our first player that we signed is pretty special.
So do you think, how long do you think you'll be coaching for? Is it one of those things like asking a farmer how long are you going to farm?
It kind of is.
It seems like a love of yours that you never quite let go. Like when you were saying I was 0% at 0%, I'm like, really 0%? Because it never really goes away in you, I don't think. When you love something and you're so good at it and you've done it for so long.
Right. And
it's your wheelhouse.
It is. And it's something that I absolutely love. And I love the AAA age group, because these are kids that you can mold and move on to the next level. And I guess when I said there was zero chance of me coming back and coaching,
is it like breaking up with an ex that you kind of really want back?
Yeah. Okay, that's so good. That's so good. It was like, you know what? I just
one more time.
Yeah, but it
makeup sex.
We're gonna make it work this time.
It was like but it was like I got shit on so bad that I don't want this ever to happen again.
Yeah. But eventually you heal.
Yeah. And you're like, you know what? I'll try this again, and they'll probably shit on me again, because
but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So that's just the life of a hockey coach, right? Of any coach.
It is.
So why I asked about the schedule, as soon as the schedule comes out, you have to let us know when it is, because there's going to be a lot of interest.
You're going to have a fan bus coming to watch you coach.
Because they'll eventually play in Tisdale.
Steve's going to be driving it.
Right? You're eventually going to play the Trojans.
Yeah.
That we're going to have to sell tickets like a month in advance.
We're going to do a show. We're going to go live from that game and get a pregame and postgame.
Darrell Mann's return.
Oh, man, with Darrell Mann.
Yeah, no, that'll be fun.
It'll be a lot of fun.
I know there's a lot of people in this community that are excited that you're back coaching. And wish you a lot of success in doing that. And there's going to be some people, there's going to be some Trojan fans that are going to be torn between those two hockey clubs. But
what is that going to be like coming back and coaching against the Trojans? And be honest.
I have no idea, actually. When they asked me,
have you thought? I know you've thought about
it. Obviously, for me, it's coaching, and it's but yeah, it'll be definitely different. But people said, well, what's it going to be like being in the other dressing room? Well, actually, that is our dressing room. The dressing room that we're coming out of, and the bench that we're on actually were the Trojans bench when we did all our winning and stuff. We were always on the other side, so that'll be... You
probably won't know the feeling until the night of.
No,
right?
Exactly.
And then it'll be okay.
Are we going to party hard after that?
We'll party hard. I'll make sure I stay in town that night. I know Kim, she's not looking forward to that day. That's she's on the other side thinking, oh man, I don't want to be there when that game she wants.
Which side of the? Where's she gonna sit?
Well, that's what I told her. I said,
is she even gonna come?
You got to sit in the same spot right across from me there. I said. And she goes, I don't know if I can sit there. And I said, well, you can sit. She's got to know a few of the Yorkton people, so hopefully they'll be at the game too, and she can sit with them.
Well, that'll be good.
Do you remember the first game you ever coached?
Like like when I started in
What's
Pee Wee
the first
hockey.
game
Like you were the head coach.
Yeah,
you were the head coach.
Pee Wee AA. Nathan played in that hockey team. Yeah, he did too. Yeah. The Mustatum boys that all just came into town. Nathan Lutz, Brad Kennedy, John Andrews, Chris Stretton. There might have been a fifth one. Blair Curry was the other one. He was
Birkdale.
a Birkdale guy. But those guys all came into town, and I remember we were the Devils. We had our little New Jersey Devils jerseys and stuff. And It was those guys. We had a great team, that Pee Wee team, especially when all those guys came into town. So it was good. I don't remember the game. I just remember the year and stuff. So no, that was a lot of fun, and that kind of got me hooked. That was
what made you want to coach then?
Dave Morgan kind of was the guy. Lee was playing on that, going to be on that team too, and Dave had a lot to do with the Ramblers. And I was playing senior hockey at the time, and he kind of asked if I wanted to coach. And Bill Zorn and Bill Woolley were two of the guys that were assistant coaches, parents. And I said, yeah. And yeah, I kind of went on from there. So that's a long time to think when Nathan was in Pee Wee hockey. Mm-hmm. So that means Nathan would have been like 11, 12 years old. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 30 some years. Crazy. Wow.
You got another 30 years in you.
Yeah. Don't tell Kim that. She wants to take it a year by a year. We had to laugh because that's one of the things the Yorkton guys asked me. They said, well, could we sign you for 5 years? And I'm like, 5 years? I don't know if I'll be alive next year. I can't sign for 5 years.
I can't commit to that.
Let's just go a year at a time. Yeah. That's what Kim said. Let's just take this a year at a time and see how the process. But they've been so accommodating. They've made it so that I can be at the store Mondays and Tuesdays, and we got a skills guy that's going to do practices the one day, and then I'll come in, and they got me a place to live, and they're treating me really well. So no, I'm excited about the new adventure.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, okay, so it's hockey off season. So are you getting geared up for golf?
Yeah, baby. Let's switch gears.
Steve's been waiting to talk about golf all night. Well, look at the smile on his face.
Well, you know, it's interesting that we're talking about golf because right before you got here, Andrea and I were talking, and she's like, "Do you know anybody that's got a set of golf clubs?" What?
Talking.
Yeah,
we were
that's
talking.
What you guys say, eh? Talking. I could hear talking when I came in.
Well, pillow talk.
Yes, thank you.
No, we were chatting, and she's like, "Hey, I want to get into golf."
Oh, you should.
She wants to get into golf.
Well, I've golfed before, but like once or twice a year. So I'm
because you're a great ball player. So that's.
Well, this is what everybody says. They're like, "Oh, you're athletic. You'll get golf."
Well, no, I said she's athletic enough to be a good golfer. It's just there's gonna be that pain at the start where she's gonna hate it.
Yeah.
But if she sticks with it, there'll be a time where it'll click, and it might be one or two good shots in a row. And then she'll be like, oh, okay, now I'm hooked for life.
Yeah, without a doubt, because that's all it is. You can have the worst round of the year, and then you're coming up 9, and you just bomb your drive, and you're like, all right, I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
I'll go again.
I have summers off, so I think we should golf every morning.
And golfing with the right people, too.
Yes.
That's key.
It is so key.
Maybe that was been part of my problem.
If you're golfing with a group, a three, like in a foursome with 3 other people that don't give a shit if you make a bad shot, and they're not like trying to give you pointers, and they just don't care, then it's so much fun, and they're just having fun, and they're hitting good shots.
It is, because you never want to golf with a person when every shot you take, they're trying to line you up.
That's never happened to me.
Thank gosh.
I I've golfed once or twice a year, so it's like with my dad or my mom or something.
And you know, if you go out on the driving range and you ask somebody, hey, what am I doing wrong? And they help you, that's different.
But I want to know that.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're out on the course, I'm having a couple beers, we're laughing, we're telling stories. Exactly.
Top 4 in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's my plan this summer to become a golfer. Steve's going to help me.
Yeah.
We got to get her a set of clubs.
Golfing.
Yeah. Well, hey, careful. I live right by the golf course now, too. So I'll be hearing that early in the morning now, too, eh?
Well, good. We'll go for a foursome every now and then.
Perfect.
Jesus.
Steve's blushing.
It is fun, and actually the women's golf, like their women's nights, they're rocking.
The women's night's better than the men's.
They party.
Yeah,
that's because the women need to get away from you fuckers.
That's and I get that. I understand that. That's
Like I know Tracy at work. She started doing ladies' night with a group, and
it's
loves
fun.
it. Yeah.
It's so fun. Well, same for guys. It's so fun to get out with the girls. Actually, so this is not about going out, but we had this conversation at work today of like the difference between when guys get together and girls get together. And chicks get together and they talk about their relationships. They talk about like what's going on with everything and whatever. So I asked Dave Payne Show, and I'm like when guys get together, do you guys ever do you ever talk to your buddies about your relationship? And he looks at me and he's like, are you serious?
this is where I can come in. We talk about dingers. That's what we talk
about getting dingers.
We talk about
Who gives
dingers.
the best one?
Where did that word come from? Dingers.
Well, I had no idea that wasn't a thing.
That's not a thing.
I've always just described as a dinger.
I've never heard it before.
Never.
I put it in part of my comedy routine, and everybody's just like, "What is a dinger?" And now I think Kelly Taylor's using it in his act.
Well, for sure.
Oh, it was hilarious.
It was so good when he.
That was the best about when he went up there and used dinger, and what was the other one? Faux pas?
Gun.
Yeah.
I was pissed because I was gonna go to gun, and I didn't, and he went to gun.
That a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man,
that was
a good time.
But yeah, guys don't talk about relationships.
No, God.
Not ever.
Never.
Guys ask me, Steve, like, who you banging?
Yeah.
Like that might be the most
Yeah.
relationship
Like
talk.
your married buddies never feel the urge to like discuss what's going on between them and their wives. Never?
Not when you're hanging out with the boys.
Like zero. Like that would be the last thing that I would even think of.
Do you never ever want to talk about that with anybody ever?
Never anybody. Never anybody. So a day at the golf for the guys is like who's running the beer cart?
Yeah.
You know, is it a babe or who's running that?
Or
who's
Hanson.
selling shots? What kind of shots are we going to drink tonight? Are we going to have like blowjobs or what are those other drinks we can all have?
All got like a Pat Brown.
Yeah, Pat Brown or whatever. That's kind of But like we're not.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, it's good to know.
And you're usually there's a lot of shit talking going on.
Yes.
Most of the words that come out of your mouths, especially when you golf with the same guys over and over and over again, and you kind of know like this guy's shitty or this guy, like so you don't bug them. But if it's two guys of equal caliber and you make a bad shot, you're giving them the gears for the next 4 shots.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah. I think that's what happens. Why women get so pissed off because they assume so much about what happens when guys go out together, and it's really just brain dead.
Yeah, actually,
fun.
it is.
There's some work talk. Sometimes we'll talk about work, maybe a little bit.
Sports. We'll talk about ball or hockey or football. But
do guys
We're
not together, but as an individual man, do you ever like wonder what the girls talk about when they're together? You never give it any thought.
No, I think you're talking about me. That's what I'm thinking all the time anyway.
Do you actually though?
Like when Kim's out, I'm thinking, she's probably talking about me.
Do you actually?
No, I don't think
I'm actually asking.
I don't.
You don't even think about it.
No, I don't even think about it. I don't. Whatever. You guys can do whatever you want. But as a woman though, I know that women think that we're talking about
other women,
and we're not. Like that's. I don't know.
That's not necessarily
I guess it depends a little bit.
Yeah, don't lie.
But
it's like I
don't know.
It's superficial stuff. Like like who's
got a nice ass?
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's fucking who?
Yeah.
Maybe a little gossip. Yeah.
Little gossip.
Some of that. Yeah. But it's
nothing.
nothing.
Mostly it's just like brainless.
We're not getting deep and
No.
talking about our feelings.
Yeah.
No. My feelings when I suck at golf, though, when Steve beats me to open up the whole thing. So
is Steve a better golfer than
No.
you?
Well,
No,
so-
he's not.
Yes.
No,
So
no.
The only time that we golfed head to head, so Jay has our little mafia group, right, that we go golfing. So
that everybody wants to be a part
yes,
of.
well, obviously, because it's Jay. So he ranks us. So we have our.
He's in charge.
Are you kidding me?
He's the mafia.
Jay is the mafia. He's in
the
charge.
Don.
He is the Don.
That makes total sense.
Like,
He's got that energy.
He does. And if he told me, like, Darrell, you're out, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, because Jay's the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he is. So
You
anyways,
get banished.
we golfed like 14 tournaments or whatever we golfed, and then he seeds us for the last tournament. So I end up playing against Steve.
I'm the last seeded guy. and
I'm one. Guy. So we're one versus last, and he shit pumps me. Steve just kills me in the game.
But we also do it differently. So you have your score, right? So we do it by average score. So my average score was, at the start of the year, is 94, and Darrell's is like 83. So Darrell's a better golfer than I am, right?
But it's you have to shoot that score, right, to be above or below par. And that day that we went, Steve like beat me by 5 or 6 strokes. It was it was hard on me. It was tough. So that is a day when you're talking. I was talking to Steve about my feelings. I was like, Steve, you're crushing me here.
I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
that
Steve
day.
was. And usually when we're playing, like it's kind of a gentlemanly agreement that if you have like a 3-foot putt, it's a gimme, right? Yeah, you have
Really?
that. Yeah, that's what we do because we're buddies, eh? So I'm playing Steve when it matters. He's not giving me any fucking putts.
No.
I got to putt everything out, and I'm missing, and I'm like mad, and I'm like, fucking Steve, I'm not hanging out with him anymore.
The thing I love about our group is we're like super cool with each other, but we're kind of competitive
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah,
It sounds like more than kind of.
but not like in a dick way.
yeah.
We're like friendly competitive with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all want to win.
Yeah.
But we're all kind of cheering for the other
Yeah,
guy.
exactly. And you're a cheerleader.
Yeah,
You're-
yes. I'm golfing okay, but Steve was golfing great that day, and I'm like, fucking right, Steve.
But
Yeah.
you know what? It sounds like so much fun. Like ever since I've heard about this, I'm just like jealous. I'm like, that sounds like the most fun.
it's-
And what a cool thing. Like, and you guys go around and golf different courses all the time. And
Jay's amazing. Like you'll have like tonight in the bar. He's getting things organized. Oh, when do you guys think we should go to Saskatoon? We could go to Dakota Dunes. It's probably going to be open in 2 weeks. Like he wants us to go golf in a couple weeks at Dakota Dunes.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Because as a guy, you love when somebody because our wives organize things for us, right? So Jay organizes
Yeah.
stuff. So we just got to show up.
Well,
well,
especially
Steve's
when
kind of an organizer.
especially when he's Jay's genuine about
Yes.
it. He loves it so much, and he wants to please us and make sure we're having a good time. So when somebody's going through that much initiative to do it, you're like, yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
Love Jay.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
You like to plan things. We both do. We like
Yeah.
to plan lots of. We want to plan another
Planners.
fun night.
Planners. Oh, you should plan another.
I like
Yeah.
planning parties.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I do enjoy party planning.
I planned lots of events. That doing the comedy night was fun
Yeah.
because you get such satisfaction out of creating something that brings people joy.
And seeing everybody was so excited.
And that's the payoff.
Exactly.
And it was so much fun. Like even
Yep.
afterwards, it was just like an after party,
Yeah,
and
totally-
everybody was having
totally
a great
get that.
time.
Yeah.
I live off that shit. I crave
so
that.
good.
Yeah.
Good job, you two.
Well,
Excited
we'll do
for
it again.
rodeo?
Oh,
Are you going to
finally.
be out?
Are you
going to
kidding
be
me?
out?
Obviously, us old
Both nights?
Friday night is the night that we go out and mingle around as the old people, and then Saturday we run in the bar, the old Ramblers.
Oh, that's
run
right.
bar. So
That's
we get
right.
down there.
Steve rocks it both nights.
I go both
so
nights.
does Janelle. Nellie,
You have to.
that's rodeo. Rodeo's her one
Yep.
time a year where she turns up.
Oh,
Okay.
she always comes over and gets shooters
Yeah,
from us.
yeah.
She's always over there. Darrell, give me another shooter here. Eh? And I'm like, oh, Janelle, come on.
She's looking forward
Yeah,
to
I know
it.
she
Look at her.
is. She's
We gotta change. Okay, we gotta change the culture tonight of rodeo. And I've been hearing a lot of, well, I'm only gonna go out one night.
why?
It's one weekend a year
Exactly.
where you're allowed to go and
No,
party your face
this
off.
is why. Because
both
of
times.
exactly what Darrell said, and this is what I hear over and over again, and it's brainwashed myself. Friday night is the older night. Saturday night is the younger night.
Right.
So everyone over the age of 20 now doesn't want to
Yeah.
go Saturday night. And I understand why, because I've gone on Saturday night before, and you do look around and you feel like a fish out of water a little bit.
Okay, so you're announcing you're going Saturday night?
I'm going Friday night.
You'll announce you're going Saturday.
I
and
don't
then
know.
Maybe more.
I'm not good
Yeah.
with
Let's do
commitment.
that.
I'm not good with commitment, Darrell.
if you go, I'm thinking that'll bring another 10.
Will you
And then
dance
another
with
10.
me if
I
I
will dance
go?
with you.
I
will
don't
dance with
know if you
Saturday
can
night.
keep up.
Oh, I'm a good dancer.
Are
I
you?
love two-stepping. and
Really?
polka. Yes.
I
Yes.
love dancing.
Okay. Well,
And there's nothing better than dancing with a person who is a good dancer.
without a doubt.
Isn't that the best?
It is the best.
We've talked about this
Yes.
before because Steve's also a very good dancer.
Guys don't understand how important it is to dance.
Oh.
If you want to pick up a babe,
Yeah.
if you go up there and you like fall around and look,
Yeah.
you're not getting that
If
babe.
you're a bad dancer
Yeah.
and you're stepping on the toes and you can't keep the beat,
Yeah. But if you got a
Yeah.
big belt buckle on and you're
No,
rocking the
it
two-step.
doesn't.
No.
No,
You
no.
girls like the belt buckle.
hey,
too.
I married a belt buckle.
Okay,
I
okay.
divorced a belt buckle.
Greg says go for the fight.
The
The
fights.
fights.
Is there still fights at?
Dave Pancho says, who do I have to whack to get into the Your daughter says she's going both nights.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Does that mean you're babysitting one of those?
no, and because it's been so long since everybody's been out, like we're talking about the comedy show, I think people hopefully are more excited and will not take for granted the opportunity to go out and see people and have a good time.
That, and also it's a great way to support the Tisdale Ramblers.
Yes.
Senior hockey
That's what
team,
I mean.
who
Don't take it for granted.
Because they're a bunch of local guys
Yeah.
that are playing hockey that we want to keep those guys being
Yeah.
able to play hockey. So if we get good crowds out both nights, that's more money for them to...
And they don't actually make a whole lot of money off
they don't.
that.
People think that, they make all... No, they
don't. They work hard for
Yes,
that money.
they do. They
And
totally do.
It benefits the community
Without
so
a doubt.
much.
Yeah, it's something we take for granted, and it needs to be. It is big. It is big, but it needs to be supported.
But I think
To the
it's more
umpteenth.
it's more on our generation to bring it back and get it going again.
Yeah.
Because like when your generation was 25s, 30s, it was everybody was doing it.
Everybody was.
And now it's like, oh, well, I'm old now. I don't know. I'm going to stay home, whatever. You can't do that.
No,
you have to be community minded. You
Yes.
have to support stuff. I don't care if you feel like sitting on the couch every other night of the year.
Yeah.
You got to get out and support this local small town stuff.
I agree. If you're 75 and under, you need to be at those
Yeah.
things and having fun and bring your group. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. If you bring a group of friends, or you're going to have fun.
You're gonna have
It-
fun.
it's going to
If
be
you got
fun.
your crew there.
And I love sitting and people watching. I'm a people watcher.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
sitting-
right?
I
And
love
rodeo
just-
is the best
it is.
place to do
'Cause,
that.
like, you're like sitting there and you're watching, oh, that chick is,
Yeah.
somebody's banging her. Like, she is out of control. Like, she is. And then you look at the other two guys over there and you're like, yeah, but neither of them are getting with her because they're not, And I'm thinking, the back of my mind, I'm thinking, that's Steve over there. Yeah, Steve. No, sorry, Steve. But
One.
but
Have you
lighten up the
have you
dance
ever
floor.
seen Steve take someone home from rodeo? Don't lie.
I don't watch Steve that much. I don't know, so I'm not commenting.
So did you hear what they're doing this year? So
What?
they're having the beer gardens, instead of being up in the Rambler room, they're having it in the auditorium. And Jay's cooking out of the
really?
kitchen.
Yes.
I'm gonna set my DJ stuff up in there and just
Yes.
play. I'm just gonna play a playlist.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be I don't know if there's one or two mechanical
Mechanical
bulls.
bulls.
No way.
Yeah.
We got to do a video.
Yeah. So there's gonna be there'll be some two-step and a mechanical
Oh
bulls
my
going on
God.
all
That's
day.
going to be so much fun.
Friday and Saturday.
Okay. Well, I can commit to going to that.
Well, obviously. Obviously.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday night.
Good times. Oh, I'm excited. That's going to be
That'll
fun.
be good. I think it'll be really
As long as Darrell Mann's there, everybody will have a good time.
good. As long as we're dancing.
We'll,
So you're
what's your go-to? Do you have a favorite song to dance to?
Ooh.
Like, okay, so Steve
what
as
is
a
it?
DJ said that Fishing in the Dark is like the all-time favorite request song.
That's you play Fishing in the Dark, you're going to get every two-step
Yeah.
in the building
Dust
up.
in the Bottle.
That's a good one, too.
I love that song.
Yeah.
That's a good song. That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
That's the one.
I like a good fast polka. That's like,
fast polka.
I like to just give
I like
her-
this- I
what
like the
is
slow
fast
polkas.
What's a fast polka then? Like what?
Like your classic.
Like you're
yeah, but
really-
what song is that though? Like what song are we
Like for
playing?
a country song?
Yeah. Like what? Yeah. So if I go up to you and I say,
Devil
hey,
Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah.
That's my favorite song to dance to.
Or
that's too
John Michael
fast.
Montgomery Sold is another one.
okay, yeah. Gotcha.
5150, somebody called the Po.
Oh yeah,
That's a
I
good
like
one.
that high energy. Like you
I
really
like the
got.
slow polkas.
Me too. I agree.
Like
the slow polkas where you
like
can
Eddie
just
Money. I love the Rainy Night.
Yeah. That's a great call. See, yes.
I don't know. I like to just
Sexy
give
polka.
her.
I call it the sexy
yes.
polka.
I don't want to be ripping around. I want to get a
Yeah.
little close and
Yeah.
that's what I want to do.
Okay, well I'll find someone else for Devil Went
Yeah,
Down to
okay,
Georgia
good.
then.
Yeah, because I'm not dancing that one.
Actually, I like to dance with my dad to that one.
Garth.
Garth has COVID right now.
Can't believe
Said that, yeah.
Yeah, we got to get Garth out one of these
Oh.
days.
Garth's an absolute beauty.
I would like to. Okay, so Garth says he's never going to come on my show.
Why?
He won't. You know what he's like. He doesn't. You can have a great conversation with him, but he wants nothing to do with the public eye.
But he'd be great on the show.
Oh, I know. He's my ideal guest.
Without a doubt he is.
But I think he would be great with you on a show.
Garth is so good. Garth is just, great guy.
But he doesn't even watch my show.
He doesn't even watch it.
No. I think I embarrass him.
Okay, good point. I'm thinking, okay, if Casey was on here talking about dingers, I probably wouldn't watch her show either. So I gotta be, I understand Garth a little bit here. Let's put this into perspective.
If we had, because what I really wanted to do is have a coach's corner.
Oh, yes.
Because we like to do different types of videos. And Steve and I have spitballed this idea of doing a coach's corner and maybe having different coaches on or whatever. But then Steve's so in love with you that he's like, no, we need to have Darrell every time.
No, you should get other coaches.
It was funny because your dad, the other day, I was announcing. I've only announced a couple games this year. Pee Wee. I was doing a Pee Wee AA game
Against Martinsville.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
No. The one against Humboldt. Humboldt. And Garth sees me in the box, and he sends me a text. He's like, "Hey, Steve, you're looking like you're a wannabe hockey dad over there."
Yeah, they get you to help out quite a bit.
And then I said, Garth, if there's any hot hockey mums, keep your eye out. Said,
do you ever scan the crowd for hot hockey mums?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you probably do when you're on the bench too.
Well,
looking for the
that's
babes.
kind of how you're old as a coach when you first started coaching. You're checking out the sisters, Nathan's sisters.
When I was 12 years old,
and then you're checking out the mums.
Yeah.
Nathan's mom.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now I've moved on to the grandmas.
Yeah.
So there's
grandmas.
a couple hot grandmas out there. Your kid comes to the rink. You're like, so what's your grandma look like? So
that's part of the choosing process as well.
Well, don't kid yourself when you're down to that last one or two players. So
please insert picture of grandmother here.
Actually, I got a really good compliment from Garth after the game. He's, most people will say if good job announcing or whatever, but Garth said, "You know what? It's Steve. It's been a while since I've been to a game where somebody called it the right way."
Well,
I was like, "Oh, thanks."
That's
Garth.
one of his pet
Appreciate
peeves.
that.
He bitches about lots of things at hockey games, and one of them is if somebody's on the mic and they just won't shut up, and it's not helping anything. They're not telling you anything you need to know. They're just making noise. So well, whenever you get a compliment from Garth, it's probably pretty good.
Steve is a great announcer.
I know.
He's when he's doing a game, it doesn't matter if it's a Pee Wee game or you did that Bantam B game even in town I came to.
Yeah, that was another one.
Yeah. And you're like, I love it when Steve does the game.
Yeah.
I really enjoy doing those young kids games because then they get fired up when you announce their name. Like at the start of the game because it was playoffs. Yeah, I announced the starting lineup.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, lots of people.
And you have little comments too in your comments.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Lots of people make comments that you throw in the odd funny thing or it's entertainment for the crowd. It's not just background noise.
We all want entertainment. If we're paying $5 to come in and watch the game, I want Steve putting on a show for me. And he is.
The best thing when I announcing Western Regionals a couple years ago there. Yeah. Oh my God, being on the red line between the bench when you guys won. In overtime, and everybody just went mental. That was.
What did you do on the mic? Did you go balls to the walls?
I just was like, "Oh, the Trojans win the cup" or something like that, and then they were skating around and kind of maybe said the guys' names and stuff like that. But it was just it was surreal to be a part of that.
You actually had to call Luke Arndt up to get because the league president came out with the trophy or whatever. And you called Tisdale Trojan captain Luke Arndt come and.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a neat experience. That whole weekend was fun.
That was a good weekend.
But community things.
Yeah.
When there's something going on in the community, when everybody goes to it, it just the energy level just goes through the roof.
Yeah. And that's why with the rodeo we need everybody to come to.
Yes.
And
we got to bring it back again because it kind of died out a bit.
Don't make an excuse that you don't have because you do have.
I'm out of town that weekend.
You can get a babysitter and don't get an excuse that you're too old because you're not too old.
Yeah. You will be too old someday.
Yeah, someday.
But right now you're not. Yeah. Get out. Yeah, I know.
No,
be fun.
it's
Well,
fun. It is
we
fun.
will all be there.
Yes,
Yeah.
We will all be there.
And Nelly.
And Nelly, she's the mascot.
Yeah. Buying shooters.
Nelly does like to party.
Trying to get free shooters from me. That's what she's always trying to do.
Well, you always give
I
them.
know. Well, look at her. How can you not give her free shooters?
She deserves them.
She does.
And you have the tequila bottle all the time.
No, and then I'll have the Baja Rosa.
Yes.
Because the Baja Rosa that I have slid over to the side
Which
there.
is tequila.
Shivering.
No, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's
Yeah, it's
tequila, but it's palatable tequila.
Yeah, 'cause you
It's,
can.
it's tequila.
It
and
tastes delicious.
cream.
Strawberry creme de something.
We've actually had girls show us their.
Yeah,
The
Janelle.
girls?
Janelle.
Not Janelle.
Just one.
We actually have. Like, it's like, are you kidding me? This is great.
And you're like,
Yeah, you are. You're like, oh, I'll give you 2 for that. That's insane.
it was funny because Sheridan asked, he's like, you know what, Steve, you should work the bar with us. I'm like, I don't want to work the
Yeah.
bar. It's like, that would be,
You must dance
Brutal.
every dance at rodeo.
no, not every dance. I like hanging out with,
Yeah, you don't. I don't.
I dance, but I enjoy because
Okay, so who are you dancing with?
just random.
Like what? Like so local girls?
Yeah,
or
mostly
girls?
local girls that come back and that you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Together though, like you bump into somebody,
Yeah.
you're like, oh hey.
Yeah. You know who's a good dancer?
Who's a good dancer?
And I've always enjoyed dancing with her at rodeo is Sherry Kirkland.
Oh,
Brad
yeah?
Kirkland's wife.
Sherry Kirkland.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger and Sherry, she's like, hey, Steve. I'm like, let's go dancing. And she enjoyed.
You're
A
such
good
a
dance.
smooth operator,
Yeah,
eh? You're
yeah.
a smooth
Well,
guy.
on the dance floor, that's
Is,
where
eh?
he gets them.
That's where he gets them, eh?
It is.
I remember Brad one time.
He almost sucked me in once on the dance floor.
Really? Whoa.
I was just gonna say, I remember there was a fight broke out on the dance floor, and it wasn't, I wasn't involved in it, but Brad, and he was still playing with the Ramblers at that
Brad.
time. Kirkland.
Okay.
And he's got that mustache, eh? So he comes up and he's like, no fighting, and he grabbed the one guy, and the other guy's just like, sorry, I didn't know you had a mustache. So he's like, because he looked like a cop, eh?
I don't know.
Looked like an undercover cop. But everybody just like quit what they were doing because Brad was there. He was laying down the law.
I don't know if I'd want to deal with Brad when he got
No,
mad. He'd
no.
be, I know.
What
Love
about
Kirk.
you? Did you used to be a fighter?
No. So soft.
Never?
Never. No, they used to joke like my record was like 2-20 or something fighting, and because
You had 20 fights?
well,
You didn't learn
maybe,
after the first 18?
I didn't learn to shut up, so I was lucky though. I played.
Why
with
were
a lot
you so bad at fighting?
Because I'm soft. I was soft. I was like I'm so glad that kids nowadays don't have video of when I played, because how I coach is the exact opposite of how I played.
But
I
don't
would have
you think-
hated me.
Wouldn't it? Isn't that like a parallel to parenting?
Yeah, that's true.
Don't you think?
No, that's really it is.
Because you want to teach the next generation to avoid the mistakes that you made, right?
Yeah, that's
I've wanted to ask you forever.
Oh, Nelly has a
Okay.
question.
Don't take offense to this, but how many clipboards have you been through coaching?
Do you break clipboards?
Clipboards, not as much as the ones that are the ice, like the when you go, you have the ice where you can do your stuff.
Playboard?
Yeah, whatever you call those. I've probably
What do you get mad and
20,
snap them over
20
your
at
knee?
least. Snap them over my knee.
Really?
Kick them in half. Like and
Not talk.
yeah, the good one now is because the boards are a little higher, so you can just give it a kick and it just snaps it in half.
Oh,
and
behind the bench?
behind the bench there, and you feel a lot better about yourself when you do that. And
And then like Dwight or Leslie's got to be like, Darrell, like, fuck, like, those things are expensive.
Have
no,
you-
it's,
$30
it's usually the team's ones. No, it's not the one.
okay.
It's the one that I'll carry it out to the bench, and I'll put it on the bench all nice, and how
yeah.
to use this, and then you get mad and you kick it and break it.
Have you
got a
have you been
garage full of
kicked
them.
out of a lot of games?
No. Probably I should have a lot more than I have been.
Yeah.
So I didn't. So that was one thing this year when I came back to coach. So I hadn't coached for 2 years, and we're playing in Saskatoon, and the game's going on, and everything's going fine. And one of our players is like yelling at the ref and the other team, and I'm yelling at him, get off the ice, get off the ice, and he's not coming off. And I said, for fuck's sakes, get off the ice. Well, I got suspended for saying the F-bomb.
Really?
Like,
Really?
That's part of my life. Is like I'm like, ooh.
So part of my life.
I found out afterwards. So like the league president, Mike Zambon, who actually he's married to my brother-in-law's sister, so we're kind of related. And he phones me up 2 days later and he goes, "Hey, Manor, got some bad news. We got to give you a 2-game suspension." I said, "What? What for?" "Well, they heard you say the F-bomb. And it was loud enough that I said, so I was yelling at my own player to get the fuck off the ice. And he goes, "Yeah, that's the new rule that if somebody hears you and they want to be.
It's probably a tone. It's probably a tone.
Well, it's just,
it's
the F if you're so I was like, oh, so then I kind of had to figure that out a little bit. And that's tough to figure out
would be
for me.
Well, when you're used to saying it, it's hard to hold it in. Sometimes not. Like sometimes, don't you find, like, depending on who you're around, you have an automatic filter? Like, if you're around your grandma, you're not going to be spouting out F words. Right?
Yes. No, I totally get that.
So that's a mentality change you had to make. So now that it's not is that still a thing?
What's that?
Saying the F?
Yes. You
Is
can't.
it?
Yeah. So I got a next going forward next year.
So how many times did you break the law until you got it?
Well, first time I did it, I got my 2-game suspension, and then I was good afterwards.
You never said it again.
It'll probably be even worse in Triple A now.
It'll be worse. So
well, Kelly Taylor talked about that when we did our podcast with him about how you talk, like a story you tell to your buddies and telling the same story to your mom.
Oh yeah,
you like got to filter it.
Yeah,
it's the same story, but it's just not as animated.
No.
Yeah.
So you just kind of gotta. That'll be interesting though. Just different styles, and
it's the way society is now. You just can't.
But don't you find though the way society is now, like,
is it
saying
better?
fuck is normal? Like, it's in all mainstream music. It's all over the place. Like, it's so much more normalized than it was. Like, I never heard my dad swear my whole growing up. And in the last 2 years, I've heard more swears come out of my own dad's mouth, which is shocking. And Janelle's shaking her head. Because, like you hear Garth say a swear, and it's like, what is going on with the world?
Well, but the world doesn't like it when it's said in a way that could potentially offend somebody.
But it can always potentially offend somebody.
Right?
Everything
if you're just saying,
is potentially
fuck,
offensive.
Right? But if you say, fuck you, that's bad, right?
Right.
But if you're just saying, fuck. Like that's okay. That's acceptable. It's the intent and the tone of it that people don't like.
Well, and that comes back to like body language and nuance.
Yeah.
Like you have to be socially intelligent to know how and when and where to use certain words and phrases.
Yeah. But that's when you talk about your dad. Like, so my dad's 93, and I never heard him say the F-bomb, and now
he does.
Now, and I'm like, wow.
Because it's like the more you hear it, the more you say it. And I notice the more, like if I'm around somebody who says it all the time, I start saying it way more. Yeah. And the more I say it, the more I'm inclined to accept when my kids say it or my dad says it or whatever, you know. It's just like becomes mainstream.
Yeah.
And in music, like when we were growing up, when I was riding the Nitros bus, we were listening to Ice
Necking
Ice
in the
Baby
back with Lee Morgan.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm thinking that the coach didn't know what was going on.
There was no swears in any music.
No, none.
Like the worst thing you ever heard was someone talking about like Anaconda was like the big. It was like nuance.
It was all metaphor and innuendo.
Yeah.
Where now it's just like blunt. They're like
wet ass pussy.
Or suck my dick. Right? Like it's wow. Okay, we're talking like that now, are we?
It's true though.
But like if Grandma and Grandpa ever heard that.
Oh man. God. But then you go on TikTok and there's all these grandmas singing to WAP on there. It's just like normal. It's like entertainment now.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch TikTok?
Okay. Oh my God.
Do you get sucked into the TikTok wormhole?
We didn't until when the pandemic all started there.
Yeah.
I remember Keith Hummel had told us, oh, you guys should. So Kim and I sitting at home one night and we were like, really? Okay, let's download this app. Yeah. And we did this and we were like, Okay. Yeah, no, we're not getting hooked into this.
No, but you think you don't want to and you don't want to, but then you start watching one and then it flips right into another one and then another one.
And then it's interesting how you're like, oh, that wasn't good. And then another one comes up, you're like, oh, that wasn't good. But then you just like keep watching those ones that you don't think are good,
and
then it keeps feeding them to you.
that's your algorithm. Yeah. Like Mercedes comes and lays beside me in bed one night, and I'm just in a TikTok friggin' wormhole, and she's like, "What are you watching?" And she's like, "Why is there all fat people on your algorithm?"
Mine looks like softcore porn.
Well, or I got into like the workout videos, so you see like every young blonde hot chick with a big ass and a little waist doing squats like over and over and over again on your feed. Yeah, that's my algorithm.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Anyways, what do you think? Time to carry on to the after party?
Yeah, we could
I feel like we've been talking for a while. We had a good show.
Yeah,
so you're going to come back for a weekly Coach's Corner?
Yeah. Like I said, you can find better coaches than me to come back.
Maybe you're a once a month guest.
Yeah, once a month.
You know what?
Once a year.
You know what we got to do though is we'll do a dressing room hallway interview before the
game in
here in
Tisdale.
town, like for like 5 minutes.
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
We're doing it.
If that'll be exciting.
Okay, perfect.
Well, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you very much,
Darrell.
you guys.
It's been a slice.
Been great.
There's a lot
Now
of
go
fights.
home so me and Steve can bone.